with Hassan El-Tayyab. He's the Legislative Director for Middle East Policy at the Friends Committee on National Legislation. Thank you so much for being with us on the program. Let me first get your thoughts on the U.S. now engaging in talks with Hamas. Is this going to help or hurt the ceasefire deal?
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I think dialogue is a really important and needed thing right now. It does put pressure on the Israelis to hold up their end of the bargain and to continue their dialogue with Hamas. And it underscores the fundamental truth that there is wisdom to talking to one's enemies rather than using military force and saber rattling. And this is significant. Again, the U.S. is meeting with an organization that it deems to be a terrorist organization. But again, it underscores that there really is no military solution here, only a diplomatic one. And hopefully we can build on these talks to actually get more hostages home, get more humanitarian assistance into the Gaza Strip, eventually reach phase 2 of the ceasefire deal, hopefully get to phase 3, and then really work to address the root causes of violence, which I believe are the ongoing occupation of Palestinians and Palestinian territories and the lack of equality across the board. But again, these initial talks by the Trump administration with Hamas, I think, is a very positive thing.
Shortly after it came to be known that the U.S. had began engaging in discussions with Hamas, he had posted on his social media platform threatening them to release the hostages. How seriously should his statements be taken, given the fragility of the deal?
Yeah, so Trump has issued yet another genocidal threat to Palestinians as Israeli leaders are violating key parts of the ceasefire agreement already through its bombing and blocking humanitarian aid. The Israelis are also imposing new terms on the deal, which further risk the release of the captives, both on the Israeli side and the Palestinian side. So many people, including myself, think what Trump's doing here is trying to move the goalposts of the terms of the ceasefire agreement via what some call the art of the deal tactics, really by threatening completely unreasonable actions through complete Armageddon of Gaza, or even conversations around the full ethnic cleansing of Gaza, that he could, one, maybe take credit for the diplomacy if it's successful, and give a green light to Israeli leadership if they want to escalate actions in Gaza, and it seems as they want to do so. But I think these comments only complicate diplomacy. They give Israel a green light to start up the war again, as it seems like it wants to do. And essentially, Trump has poured even more gasoline on what is already a raging inferno across the Middle East. So really problematic statements. And instead of making insane posts on Truth Social, posting absurd videos on Truth Social, as well as greenlighting $12 billion of new weapon sales to the Israeli government, who is a complete violation of international humanitarian law. Donald Trump, members of Congress really should be using leverage with the Israeli government to finally get the phase 1 of the ceasefire agreement into phase 2 and to open up full humanitarian access for Palestinians in Gaza in desperate need. And that's why I think it's welcome news that Senator Sanders, Representative Tlaib have actually introduced joint resolutions of disapproval to block new weapon sales to the Israeli government. And I think policymakers that are serious about this hostage deal need to get behind that effort and get over the finish line a ceasefire deal that fully ends this war. And that's what a majority of Americans want, a majority of Israelis want, a majority of what Palestinians want, and a majority of what the world wants.
Okay, Hassan El-Tayyab, thank you so much for being with us here on TRT World and sharing that insight with us.
Thanks so much.